the Austrian-born, I believe he was born there, Sigmund Freud. And his nephew, who was named Edward Bernays, he believed in selling the feeling. Not necessarily a product, but the feeling associated with that product. And so what he did, his most famous campaign, and they sold the idea that a cigarette made you look empowered. And so all of a sudden you saw these posters and these pictures of women with cigarettes, and it was just this big thing. It wasn't like they loved inhaling fire into their lungs. Or smoke into their lungs. They enjoyed how it looked. And it kind of said, hey, this is empowerment. And, he called it the torches of freedom for these women. And I mean, he literally was selling it based on that name and the image and the idea of happiness. One of two countries, the other being New Zealand, that advertise pharmaceuticals on TV. You see it all usually. I see it in the daytime too, but usually at night. And at night it becomes this. You get tired at night. You may need this. You get hungry. Do you get hungry? You might need this. But they're selling this idea of being happy. This makes you feel better. What's going on now sucks. You need to take this pill. Oh, by the way, it's going to cost a shitload of money. Insurance doesn't cover half this shit that's advertised. How about food? I mean, people are selling things like, fast food because it tastes good. It's easy to get. It makes you happy. It's not because they're trying to say, hey, guess what? You're going to be super happy when you're obese, like this country unfortunately is. We have a problem in this country. But I mean, just think of the kids, Happy Meal. Happy. There you go. It's right in the name. And so your kids will be happy if you purchase this. There's a fucking toy. They'll be happy. And guess what? That'll make life easier on you. How about big name cars? Why do you want to drive a BMW, a Mercedes, a Porsche, whatever? Why do you want to do that? Especially why do you want these middle-aged guys that get Lamborghinis? Why? Because you believe it makes you happy. Things like beauty products. Come on. In this world, we've established that people want to look attractive, and that in this world, women need makeup to do that. And I get it. But there is still a point of you need facial cleansing separate from makeup. You need a certain type of moisturizer. You need a certain type of shampoo. You can't just get a regular shampoo. It's got to be this $50 shit that you order, and that's just the shampoo. These are things that they're selling probably don't need to be happy. Let's take another step. Let's talk about wellness, self-improvement, mental health, the apps, the books, all this thing about motivating ourselves, getting healthier, getting in better shape, mentally stable. This is a $4.5 trillion industry, just the things I mentioned. If books, conventions like books and all these could solve all of our issues and make you happy, make you healthier, and motivate you, why are they continuing to put new books out and new this and new that? It seems like we would be able to say, all right, this is the way to do it. Let's do it. Why is everybody getting in on this, and why is it spreading, and why do people think, oh, I'm just going to do a self-help book? Who's qualified? Welcome to Stay in the Gray podcast. We explore news that gets people talking by blending comedy and controversy.
Feel the banner, feel the sword, shadow screams of hurt.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Trey. Together we dive into tough topics with a combination of humor and some insight.
So join us as we navigate the gray areas of the world and engaging in real conversation.
Come get to know us.
All right. Welcome to February, everyone. It's February the 3rd. From Dallas, Texas, it is 81 degrees outside. I don't like it. Texans, yell at me all you want, but I miss the cold. It is wintertime, and it should be as such. Hopefully we'll get another little spurt of cold and possibly some freezing weather before we hit spring. That's just what I want. I know what all of you want. I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to be a little bit ad-lib tonight. I'm going to do a little kind of just improv, if you will. I was thinking, I was in a conversation with my wife, and we were talking about the idea of hypnosis, the idea of manifestation of things that we want in life, things that we think would better our life, things that make us happy. And then I started thinking about the word happy and what is it that truly makes somebody happy? Is it, everybody has their own answer. Is it children? Is it your career, of course? Is it hobbies? Is it friends and family? And so I started thinking about all of these things, and then it kind of hit me. You see it everywhere. It's just this notion of this is what you need to make you happy. This on social media, down the whole thing. Do you want to be like this? Do you want to be like this? Advertisements on TV. Check out this car. God, how amazing, how happy would you be in this car? How about this vacation? Check it out. Sandals, whatever the hell it is. You'll be happy. Let's enrich your life. Let's make it better. And so I'm sitting here saying, like, okay, you got to have a lot of money to be happy. Is that true? So it got me thinking, are we being fooled? Look, I jumped right in, but my point is that advertisements, that everywhere you look, books, self-help, these conventions, these speakers that come to try and help motivate you. Everybody needs to be motivated. Nobody seems to be able to do it by themselves. Is there a reason for that? Are we being sold the idea of happiness? Or are we believing we're happy because we're buying these products, whether it be listening to a speaker or spending a ton of money on vacations or designer clothing or cars or buying self-help books, taking courses. And so it got me thinking about it. So I just feel like there's a gray area, which is what I do here. I want people to consider, I don't really have a side on this. And that's, some people don't like that. Some people want me to take a stance. And I've always been, and I'll admit, I'm always the guy that has kind of sat back and said, don't waste your money. Don't believe in all of these, foo-foo, I call them foo-foo things, these little Eastern Europe holistic medicine and all this. And I'm here to tell you, I'm kind of opening my eyes to the fact that there can be a connection between all of it, Western, Eastern, all types of, all mindsets when it comes to mental health and what makes you happy. Is it all about what you can buy? No, you've got to have the drive. You've got to have the mental capacity to do it. So you've got to be able to separate out the fake happiness from real happiness. And that's where it gets difficult. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And there's a lot of reasons that in the old days people were tricked into this. And I guess I'll start with a story. And what I mean by that is probably one of the most notorious reasons that advertising started to do this was the introduction of psychology into the world. And the most famous, the most known psychiatrist would be the Austrian-born, I believe he was born there, Sigmund Freud. And his nephew, who was named Edward Bernays. Isn't there a sauce named Bernays? The Edward Bernays sauce? Hollandaise. Anyway, he believed in selling the feeling. A feeling. Not necessarily a product, but the feeling associated with that product. And so what he did, his most famous campaign, if you will, was in the 1920s. These women who are now being empowered. You've seen the posters, you've seen the images of these beautiful women. They called them flappers, I believe. They had the new hairstyles. They had the big boots, and they dressed the part. They were empowered. They were no more. Obviously, 1920 they were able to vote. No more. Women, here we go. And they sold the idea that a cigarette made you look empowered. And so all of a sudden you saw these posters and these pictures of women with cigarettes, and it was just this big thing. It wasn't like they loved inhaling fire into their lungs. they or smoke into their lungs, they enjoyed how it looked, and it kind of said, "Hey, this is empowerment." And he called it the torches of freedom for these women. And I mean, he literally was selling it based on that name and the image and the idea of happiness and the feeling that women got. So think about products. Think about everything we see on TV. It's insane. I mean, if you start thinking about it. Before that, the people, if you really think about it, the people before psychology, the people that were way back in the day, I mean, go as far back as you can, and it was, you wanted to eat, you wanted to pray. Men and women became locked into the idea of religion. It made them believe there was a purpose. It was also a way to I believe, control the masses in a sense, by people of power, in the clergy, and people know a lot more about it than I do with the history of religion, and then the community. So eat, stay alive, survive, and that was happiness. A lot's changed. Now it's you can't just eat and pray and be happy. There's all these other gadgets and all these other destinations and all these bucket lists, and social media is just blown that up completely too. So that being said, think about today. All right, how about seeing all the drugs? We're only one of two countries, the other being New Zealand, that advertise pharmaceuticals on TV. You see it all usually. You see it in the daytime too, but usually at night. And at night it becomes this. Do you get tired at night? You may need this. Do you get hungry? Just do you get hungry? You might need this. I exaggerate to make a point. But, then of course the side effects are, takes 30 seconds to read, and it involves death and dying and death and diarrhea and all these horrible things and liver failure. But they're selling this idea of being happy. This makes you feel better. What's going on now sucks. You need to take this pill. Oh, by the way, it's going to cost a shitload of money. Insurance doesn't cover half this shit that's advertised. How about food? I mean, people are selling things like, fast food because it tastes good. It's easy to get. It makes you happy. It's not because they're trying to say, hey, guess what? You're going to be super happy when you're obese, like this country unfortunately is. We have a problem in this country, and I admit I'm been known to enjoy fast food every once in a while, and I'm not going to lie, but it's something that hopefully this country can get wraps on. But I mean, just think of the kids' Happy Meal. Happy. There you go. It's right in the name. And so your kids will be happy if you purchase this. There's a fucking toy. They'll be happy. And guess what? That'll make life easier on you. I know it sounds kind of silly to analyze it to this point, but think about it. Just think about it. It's not, you're not like, oh, I want McDonald's and Happy Meals for the kids because it's good for us. It's the best hamburger out there. It's because it's just kind of drilled in. This is where you go for your kids. And they got playgrounds and all that shit. Coca-Cola is known for sharing and joy and all these things. If you go back in time to all their commercials, that's all it is, joy. That's why they're so big on Christmas. They got Santa on the damn can every year. And they're selling it. Well, that's just a big can of sugar, high fructose corn syrup. Does it make you happy to drink it? Maybe. I mean, what do they call it? Instant gratification. You take that first sip, maybe, if you like soda. I don't know, but I can't imagine you pounding Coca-Cola is going to ultimately make you happier. How about designers, designer wear, designer car, the big name cars? Why do you want to drive a BMW, a Mercedes, a Porsche, whatever? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want these people, these middle-aged guys that get Lamborghinis? Why? Because you believe it makes you happy. And it's so everybody looks around and goes, wow, he's got a Porsche. Wow, he's got this. He's doing well. And it makes you feel good when you drive it. I'm not going to lie. I've been fortunate enough to drive a nice car for a while now, and I love it. Yes, of course it's a smooth ride and it's a nice car and it's got features and all these things. But ultimately, it's how do I feel when I'm driving around in it? Is it that much different than if I was driving a car that was worth half as much? I don't know. It's all up here. But the same with designer products. I mean, why do you need why do you need some shoes that are, $6,000 when honestly, the heel probably snap off before the ones that are 100. You guys will tell me I'm wrong about that, but I've witnessed both. And it seems like sometimes the cheaper ones outlive the expensive ones. Things like beauty products. Come on. I get it. In this world, we've established that people want to look attractive, and that in this world, women need makeup to do that. And I get it. But there is still a point of you need facial cleansing separate from makeup. You need a certain type of moisturizer. You need a certain type of shampoo. You can't just get a regular shampoo. It's got to be this $50 shit that you order, and that's just the shampoo. Conditioner too. These are things that they're selling that you probably don't need to be happy, but you're listening to the word happy. I mean, you're feeling it. So, like I said, I'm trying to do a show like this because it just kind of fascinated me when I started really thinking about it. It may not be of interest with all the shit we've got going on, but hey, take a break from all that and let's talk. How about let's take another step. Let's talk about wellness, self-improvement, mental health, the apps, the books, all this thing about motivating ourselves, getting healthier, getting in better shape, mentally stable. This is a $4.5 trillion industry, just the things I mentioned: wellness, self-improvement, mental health, the apps and the books, and anything else, speakers, I suppose. And the idea is to be your happiest self with these things. And what brought it up today, which is why I'm doing an impromptu show and doing one that I'll admit I'm not completely prepared for, but I wanted to jump on here because I owe you guys a show. I do 2 a week. I do Tuesdays and Fridays. You know that. And here we go. So what started this, like I mentioned, was hypnosis. My wife is very intrigued, and I am too, at the idea of being able to take something specific that you want to be better, something you want to focus on, and that be the topic. I mean, that's what you're going to get have hypnosis for. So, I mean, I can walk in there and say, I really want to work on eating better, and that becomes the focal point. If I want to work on manifesting a job. I want to work on you guys continuing to support me and help me grow. Not financially, people. Just a couple likes here and there. Maybe a comment. These types of things. And so that's what got me going. But then she said something that was very interesting, and she'll kill me if I was telling this, if I'm sharing all this, but it's not that big of a deal. I've done worse. I've said worse. She was saying that she felt really good afterwards, and then about 2 weeks later, it started to kind of fizzle. Oh, well, you need to come back for another session, another fee, another payment, and it's a cycle. And that gets me thinking, oh, really? You can't do something that lasts a little longer than 2 weeks. It's just kind of like, really? So that's what got me thinking about it. Same thing with, I'm just talking about how they exaggerate. If you look in my supplements case, there's a lot of pills in there. Do I really need 27 pills a day? I'm trying to consolidate into a multivitamin. I'm trying. But do we really need all this? Maybe. I don't know. Does it make me feel better? Maybe it's up here. Maybe I feel like I'm taking all this stuff and now I'm going to be healthier. Doing a liver cleanse and trying to drink less. Is it really working, or is it up here? I believe in the power of the mind, and that's part of the manifestation. So again, it's about the money and it's about what you're buying in order to achieve that. And I think that's kind of where you're at. Now, the other gray area at all this is that there are two things. Number one, I found there is science, of course, to back up a lot of this, which people should use. Look at research studies and before dismissing it like I did. And I admit that. They're basically saying meditation, you know all this, meditation, exercise, all these things can actually make you happier through science, through biology. And that's something that everybody should take note of. Everybody. I mean, it seems like anything that might be wrong with your body, if you have a checkup at the doctor, exercise will help. That's not nonsense. That's something that's been proven by studies and research. So get out there and exercise. I know I'm trying to. My goodness, it's February. This was supposed to be a New Year's thing. I was going to go exercise more. It's February. I feel like last night it was New Year's Eve and I made that resolution. Where did January go, people? But secondly, some is just good marketing, which is the whole point of this discussion. If books, conventions, I keep calling them conventions, it might be a better word, books and all these could solve all of our issues and make you happy, make you healthier, and motivate you. Why are they continuing to put new books out and new this and new that? It seems like we would be able to say, all right, this is the way to do it. Let's do it. Why is everybody getting in on this, and why is it spreading, and why do people think, oh, I'm just going to do a self-help book? Who's qualified? Who are the people that I mean, you can get somebody that's a psychologist. Maybe you trust them, but that's all mental. Who's qualified to motivate? So it becomes, oh, I really like the way this person delivered their inspiration. And that's what it is. It's what makes you comfortable. And so it's not what they're saying, it's how they're saying it. That's my opinion. So just something to think about there, flying through these notes. How about these wellness retreats? And I can't help now every time I hear this wellness retreat or couples retreat, I think of the movie Couples Retreat. And it was a fantastic film. And I think, okay, well, that wouldn't be so bad. You're in the islands or in the tropical resort with your wife and some friends, like the movie, then that's great. Why? How would that not help? Unless there was some huge fight or something. But overall, it seems like that would help. Get away from life, take a deep breath, reconnect, have some activities to spend time together. But what you're paying probably a lot extra for is the way it's delivered from whoever is running the program. Do they really help? Do you just think they help? Which in turn helps. So they cost $1,000. So what I'm saying is, what if people don't have that? Are only the people that can afford it happy? Let me rephrase. Can people that can't afford it be happy without the ability to do these things? That's my question. And why aren't there these programs available on a more, and I guess there are, on a more, not cheaper level, but on a level that doesn't require as much, that is just there to help mentally. And of course there is, but it's not like this. It's not these types of things. And is there a target? It's something that just came to me. Maybe these people are targeting the people that have the money. And so they know they're not going to get people that are struggling maybe financially. They're going to get the people that, okay, I'm willing to invest it. It's worth it. Problem is you get people that can't really afford to do it, and they do it anyway, and then now you're taking money. That money is now adding more stress. The money they've spent is now adding more stress. How is that supposed to keep them happy? So there's this whole cycle of being manipulated by advertisements. That's what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm trying to make it into a full show, and I think there's enough talk about. It's interesting. Look around you at everything you see on social media, on the TV, and really think about it. Do I need this to be happy? Am I striving for something that just has been out of reach and I'm grasping at straws? Money is the biggest thing. You see advertisements all the time now on these bingo games that are on your apps, and solitaire and all this, and you can play, and the actors, which aren't really actors, they're terrible, are like, I played for 10 minutes and I won. They deposited $3,000 right into my PayPal, and of course it shows a picture of PayPal, like, oh, here's $3. It could be anybody, and it really makes you stop for a second. I know I have. Oh man, maybe I should try this. what if it's true? What's the worst that can happen? The worst that could happen is you go, oh man, I can do $5 more and build up from there. And then maybe I'll hit the jackpot on one of them or something. It's not smart. It's how they get you. And I've talked about it. I'm going to be transparent. I've been scammed because people sell me the belief that I'll be happy. They sell me this idea, hey, this will solve your issues. All you got to do is this. You're a podcast. I can help you grow. All you got to do is this. And it's bullshit. And they get people like me who just want the best for my family and want to believe in what I'm doing. Scammers are selling happiness. I'm not going to sit here and call, a car commercial scam, but maybe it is. Makeup commercials. Are these scams? Some guy coming in here and trying to motivate an entire room of people by giving a speech, putting maybe a good PowerPoint up there. They still do that, right? Maybe is that a scam? I mean, is everybody supposed to react the same way to one person who's giving a speech? And who the hell are they? Obviously, there's inspirational speakers, motivational speakers who have experienced something that's different. You're learning lessons from their life. It's not your life. Maybe you've had something similar, but nobody is exactly the same. So where's the line between a scam and just basic advertisement? Next, I think, and I wrote this down this way, and I'll go into this first, but let's talk social media. Okay, yeah, we had to get there because that's where it's at. So I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. This is where I see it all. Okay, influencers. That is what a lot. Technically, I guess as a podcast and putting up clips and ideas about about humanity and about our world and our country mainly right now. I suppose I'm striving to be an influencer. But I'm talking about these people that actually have full accounts and pages dedicated to one product, and they're trying to sell you on it. And everything you look at is, you will feel better, you'll be happier, your life will improve, everything. I mean, whether it's sunglasses or a t-shirt. There's one where they're like, do you want to look, are you getting older and you want to look skinny and buff? This t-shirt is designed specifically for that. For middle-aged guys that want to look cool. They're hitting these demographics and they're trying to sell the idea of being happier. And I'm not saying I don't sit here and bite and go, oh, that shirt looks good on that dude. Maybe I should invest in some cool V-necks. But you see vacations, you see all that, and the idea is, why is my life not like that? That's the idea. Why is my life not like that? And that's how they get you, because you believe that if you're going to spend, let's spend a couple $1,000s, let's go on vacation. This is what people do who are happy. This is what people do who are happier than I am, personally. If I go on that vacation, look how happy they are. They're jumping up and down the water, splashing each other. This dog, he's happy. Everybody's fucking happy. Let's go on vacation. And where are we going to go? Oh, look, there's a place right here on my social media. How convenient. And so there's always a product. That's what I wrote down. Check this out. Okay, if you're unmotivated, there's a course you can take for whatever. How about if you want to find love? Well, we all know the apps are out there. Subscribe. It's no longer just here's a free app. Now I believe there are subscriptions to get better access to better people and more people. You can unlock people that maybe weren't there before, and you can have different features, like maybe you can see who's looked at your profile. You have to pay for this? Do you really need this? I suppose if you're looking for love, you can buy an opportunity. How about, I just gave you the t-shirt example. What about things like erectile dysfunction? Not needed that, but it's everywhere. Hey, dudes, you need some help in this area? This is for you. You'll be happy, literally, as you rise to the occasion. And obviously, that's a big one that makes men happier when they're able to bang. So all these on social media, and it's just, look, next time you scroll down, and I know you're aware they're there, but really look at them and see what people happy, people smiling, people this, people that, and it gets into our heads. Anyway, so the idea is good old dopamine, right? the little burst of dopamine that makes you happy, makes you excited. So TikTok and Instagram designs their platforms to keep us addicted. I mean, they literally give you things like likes and follows and comments and subscription and all of these things that show you little spurts of, oh, somebody looked, somebody liked, somebody this, somebody that. Why do you need a like button? Why do you need, I mean, I guess comments, you can probably, make a case for either way, but there are rewards. There are, when you hit, 1,000 people on YouTube, oh, here's a certificate. Here's fireworks. So you've done it. Keep going. Motivation in and of itself, but the point is that they're trying to keep you on their site. They're trying to keep you having people come to their site. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but the fact that it is an addictive process is a factor. And a big question, are we really happier? I've kind of said it throughout. Are we really happier? There's a study that says more social media actually leads to anxiety and depression. I don't think anybody doubts that at all. I think you can see horrible, horrible things on social media. You can also see really great things as well. But if you spend time in the black hole that is social media, and unfortunately I have to spend a lot of time there trying to promote it to you people, and after trying to write and converse with you people, and I say you people, I mean the people that like to yell for no reason and scream and bitch and make butthurt comment of the show. When I used to do that segment, I believe that there are people that are ultimately depressed, and that trying to lash out at somebody might make them happy in a sense, or at least a quick spurt of happiness, that dopamine. So likes and comments are great, but these people, when they go to troll for some reason, that makes them happy. I remember that when I see it, but it makes sense. And that's, I guess, the whole point of the social media is that some things that are sold, not just on social media, but the idea of happiness could actually make it worse. And we need to be aware of it. We need to separate out. We need to figure it out individually, what makes you truly happy and what is a pipe dream and what you're stretching for with money. And there is a difference. I know there are some of you that might think this is overkill, but I think it's something you need to think about. And I think it applies. I mean, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm going off script here. It applies to everything in our country right now. We need to believe in ourselves. How do we get that while able to block out the negative? If it is investing in one of these, these things where you need some new clothes, you need this, you need that, then fine. But just be careful when it comes down to believing that you can solve it quickly by, swiping that credit card to somebody that's going to put you in hypnosis. Maybe it works. I don't know. That's my point. What do you think? Tell me. Give me an idea. Is the media, is social media, is all these people that have zoomed in and cued in on people who want to be happier, selling happiness? Are they just smart for doing that? Do you think they're assholes for doing that? Manipulating people? Or is it just a legitimate way to say, hey, yeah, everything costs a little bit of money and this is no different? I don't know. Again, tell me what you think. So where are you people? Where are all of you at, you people? I keep saying you people. Where is everybody at right now? Are you happy? Are you not? Do you believe that these things surround us? It's hard to be happy in the world right now, in our country right now. I believe things are getting better. I believe things are, as far as the country is concerned. But man, there are still a lot of people that want to yell and scream and cry. And I feel like they're actually cheering for the country to fail just so they can say, see, I told you this guy was no good. And that's not good either way. Back when Joe Biden won or Barack Obama and whatever, I was never the guy that hoped they failed just so I could prove my point. We're in this together. And again, I got off here. But think about your own happiness as you move forward. I'm kind of case by case. I don't buy a lot of the self-help books and things like that. I just feel like, who's this person? You can ask my wife or my friends, and that's always what I say is, why is this person? What credibility do they have to tell me, when everybody's different out there, to tell me how to be happier? And that's when I guess you go to professionals. But man, I haven't found one, honestly. No offense to anybody that I've been to over the years, off and on. There's been maybe one or two that have been nice to talk to, but it's not like they've just turned the switch and everything's better. And I have to recognize that, and I think everybody should. It's these things right here: mindfulness, gratitude, and connections can improve happiness. That's what I wrote down. I believe that mindfulness, gratitude, and connections, social connections, real ones, not these fake ones where you're talking to somebody about the same political issue and you guys are, you both agree. Real social connections outside of social media, out the front door, out the door. Meet people, network, learn, and be happy. And just ask yourself next time when you think, man, I really need to improve myself. So, that being said, boost my dopamine. Like and subscribe. Hit this up. Tell me what you think. Like I said, I know I kind of rambled through this a little bit, but I just think it's interesting. And I'd like to know what you think. I mean, have you ever thought about this? Shoot me, again, a comment. Make me happy for a split second. I see there's a new comment waiting, but let me know. Let me know if this is a stupid topic, if you think that I'm overanalyzing it. I don't think so. I think everyone needs to just be careful out there. And, I've got a bunch of scams that I've seen, people still trying to scam me. And I just want everyone to be aware of that and not think that it's as simple as just tossing money at it. Really make sure before you do. And I just like to question the world. I like to question humanity. Humanity fascinates me. I've said it multiple times, but in case this is your first show, and sorry, my phone is vibrating just crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. But join me with this. Let's question everything. Let's question humanity. Let's laugh at humanity. Let's challenge humanity together. So come check the show out more. Pass it around. Let's build this thing and be a team. People that are like-minded to us. That's what I want. I want a group of people who aren't on either side just spitting and saying everybody sucks. Come together with me and let's analyze it together. So I'll see you guys next time. Unless I find happiness with money and I'm just out of there and I'm in like tropics or something. But I have a feeling you'll see me next time. So let me give you an end quote for the night, and I'll see you on the next show. I like this one. It kind of relates. We live on a blue planet that circles around a ball of fire next to a moon that moves the sea. And you don't believe in miracles? Shame on you. Thanks, guys. Love you.